Joe. I'm sorry I couldn't finish this video before. That's why it's divided into two different ones, because like you have no idea how many problems I had to make the video. Like first, my neighbor's baby was crying and crying and crying, then my daughter and her dog, and then my husband, and it was like horrible. So I decided to like finish it later, and that's why I made this one video into two. So I hope that you don't mind. So well, we were talking about if it's possible to improve our level of English, and I said yes, it is very possible. And previously I talked about some tips that I have given my students. Of course, you have to know that these are not all the tips, and these are not all the things that you can do to improve your English. There are many others, but at least these are the ones that I've seen that have worked with my students because they've done it. But anyways, if you want to know more, or if you have any other questions or whatever, text me, send me a message or whatever, and then I'll try to help you. Okay, so the next skill that we're going to talk about is the writing. Can we improve our writing skills? Yes, we can. Many people think that writing is very difficult because it's a productive skill. This means that we produce something. The information comes out of us, our mind, our brain, our knowledge. And we are scared of writing because we think that we are not able to do it. But the thing is that we do it every day. How many times we post something in Facebook and we write the phrase in English? How many times we text our friends in WhatsApp or Messenger and we do it in English? How many times we have to write something in our notebooks at English class? So we are practicing writing. How can you improve your writing, and how can you feel more confident when writing? Do simple things. Write notes about the things that you are doing. Maybe you can keep a diary and write at night the things that you will do the next day, or write the things that you already did that day. Text your friends in English. That is another good technique to improve your writing. One thing that you can do, of course, is practice online. And every time that in English classes you have the chance to write something, every time that your teacher assigns a written activity, don't make your long face. See that as an opportunity to continue practicing. You can find this amazing website, and I think I already mentioned it. It's englishgrammar.org. You will find here lots of activities to improve your writing, from basics to advanced. And it's really good. It's a great tool. And of course, you can also enter the British Council writing section, where you can find a lot of activities, examples, explanations, etc. If you need to write in a more formal way, there is this program that you can install, and it's super good. The name is Grammarly.com. It helps you write a lot. You write something, and then this program revises your text, and then it marks or checks like all the mistakes that you have so that you correct it. This program does not give you the answers. You have to know it. This program tells you whether you made a mistake, and it gives you the chance to correct it. So it's like teaching you or helping you write in a better way. The most important thing is that you take the chance to write and that you do it. Like maybe if, like in the other video I told you about like watching YouTube videos, maybe you can take the chance to write a comment when you watch a video in English, and little by little, it's just that you feel that you can do it, because you can. All right, now let's talk about the speaking part. Speaking. Yeah, speaking is terrifying for some people. Even for some teachers, speaking is like the most difficult part. To me, grammar and vocabulary is the most difficult one, but for some other teachers, speaking is horrible. And it is, to be honest. I've had lots of students who write very well. Their listening, their reading are super good. They have a very good level of grammar. They have a lot of vocabulary. But guess what? When it comes to speak, they just can't. And they get stuck, they freeze, and they don't say anything. And it's totally normal. Speaking is also a productive skill. It means anything that we say comes from our knowledge, from our brain. And it's difficult to produce something or on our own, of course. And one of my principal objectives is to get my students to speak. Why? Because this is the way in which we communicate with others. You cannot be like writing all the time to say something. You need to speak, and it's very difficult. Many people ask me, Adri, what can I do to improve my speaking? Because I can. And I always tell them, just do it. I mean, if you make a mistake, nothing is going to happen. If you get stuck, nothing is going to happen. If you have to rephrase what you are saying, what? The point is that you communicate your ideas, and that's it. How many times you guys go to the United States or to Canada, for example, and let's say that you need to order food. You are at a restaurant and you need to order food, and your parents or your family, I mean, they don't speak English, but you speak English more or less, and you have to speak, and you do it because you have no other option. And guess what? The other person understands what it is that you want to say. And you know what? When you have to speak, you use some other techniques, like you use your hands, you use like your face. Maybe you can point at some things around you. Maybe you can draw, you can give examples, you can give descriptions of what you are trying to say. And that is communicating, that is that you are speaking. Many people think, and this is because I've seen it many times, that to speak you need only words. That is not like what speaking is about. Speaking is using words, but also some other things around you that can help you communicate an idea. And to practice your speaking, well, you can use songs. Why songs? To improve your fluency. The more you practice singing, the better your fluency is going to be. Then you will help your tongue to stop getting stuck when you want to say something. You will get more confidence as well. You will learn more vocabulary. And you have to practice with another person. Find a partner. I'm not saying that you get it online, because sometimes getting online and find a partner can be dangerous, but maybe you can find a person who also wants to practice English. And there are also a lot of teachers like me who are willing to help people to practice any skill. I think fear is the only problem that people have when they need to speak in English. They are scared of making mistakes. They are scared of people making fun of them. But what I always tell my students is that we are not perfect. We make mistakes all the time. And if we make a mistake, we just have to take it and move on, because that is what we do in real life. When something bad happens, or when we make a mistake, when we do something wrong, we just have to move on and learn from that. And it's the same when learning something. You cannot pretend that you can learn something if you don't make a mistake. That is the way in which we learn everything in our lives. That is the way in which these scientists or doctors or important people did something in life, by making mistakes, right? And if other people laugh at your mistake, you need to learn to laugh as well. When you laugh at your own mistakes, things get like calm, relaxed. It's okay to make mistakes, and it's okay to laugh about it. We teachers make a lot of mistakes when we speak. either Spanish and English. Like that is my case. I get stuck a lot when I speak Spanish. And I also get stuck and I also make mistakes, like now, when I speak English. And so what? We are not perfect. And nobody expects you to be, right? It's just a matter of knowing that making mistakes is part of the learning process. All right, and to finish, we're going to talk a little bit about pronunciation. What can we do to improve our pronunciation? And well, the answer is we have to listen and to repeat, to listen and to repeat, to listen and to repeat. Pronunciation is a very important part of a language, of learning a language. But we have to understand that the sounds of a language are very different from the sounds of another language. In this case, Spanish and English, they are different. There are some sounds in English that don't exist in Spanish. And that's why, for students, it's very difficult to pronounce some words, right? Like, for example, when you want to say three, I've seen it with some students that they say free instead of three. And it's normal. It's a new sound. We don't have that sound in Spanish. And we have to be very, very patient. If we pronounce something wrong, it's totally normal. And nothing bad is going to happen. Nobody's going to judge you and nobody's going to say, you can't pronounce the word, ha ha ha. I mean, no. Because we are not perfect. As I said before, we are not expected to know and to do everything perfectly, right? And there are some websites that you can enter to practice your pronunciation. My recommendation is that if you have the opportunity to be in touch with a native speaker, every time that you want to say something that is difficult for you, ask them for help, and they will help you. Like, people are really nice, believe me. And you can also ask for help to your teacher, and you can practice on these websites. Here you can find like a lot of activities to practice your pronunciation and to practice the sounds of English. And don't give up. We have to understand that learning anything, not only English, not only language, is a process. And the process takes time. How long? We don't know. But we have to be patient. And I have to say that for me, pronunciation was difficult because I have my own Mexican accent and my own Mexican way to pronounce things. But that doesn't mean that people don't understand what I want to say. And let's just keep in mind that communicating your ideas, is the most important thing. So I hope that these tips or this information is useful for you. If you want to know anything else, or if you have a doubt, or if you need help with anything, please let me know. I'll be very, very happy to help you. See you in another video. Have a wonderful time. Bye-bye.